Let me first thank you all for coming today. On behalf of Joël, Samira, Roland, and George, and each and every participant, we thank you for being here and for making this vegan conference, the first vegan conference in Lebanon, a reality. Thank you all. So let me start, first of all, by saying that I wasn't born vegan. I wasn't raised vegan. I used actually to enjoy eating meat, dairy, cheese, eggs, more than 30 years. It all seemed to be so normal to eat meat. I mean, we just have to turn on the TV and we are literally bombarded by dairy and meat commercials, seeing happy cows running on green fields, dancing, singing, happy to be a piece of steak on our dinner tables. They taught us that protein means meat and calcium means cow's milk. But is it true? At restaurants, you see people all around ordering steak, eating pizza pepperoni, bacon, ham, lamb, and more. Everything seems to be so normal. But is it? One day, 8 years ago, a friend of mine who I used to consider as an annoying extremist vegan shared on my news feeds, on his social media account, he shared a footage of a cow being slaughtered in an abattoir. So I felt offended, and I felt offended by what I saw, and even blaming my annoying friend for posting such horror on my news feeds. Then the same day, I went back home. I took my dog in my arms and started cuddling and kissing my dog. All of a sudden, I felt that something was wrong in my behavior. I realized that when I look at my dog's eyes, there was someone looking back at me. I realized that there is no difference between a dog and a cow. They will both fight for their lives if their throat is being cut open, bleeding in agony to death. I realized that we live in a society that normalizes violence, accepts lies, radicalizes peace, and gets offended by the truth. Then I started questioning myself. Why are we inflicting such immense suffering and killing to those innocent and vulnerable creatures? Is it because we need meat to thrive and survive and be in good health? Is it because we have always done it this way? Is culture and tradition a good benchmark for our behavior? So I started doing some more research on this topic to find why we really eat meat. Do we really need meat to live and be healthy? Well, it turned out that all major diseases are directly linked to eating animal and their products. In fact, the number one cause of death is heart disease, caused by clogged arteries due to high intake of cholesterol, trans fatty acids, and saturated fat, all found in large quantities in meat, dairy, and eggs. Same goes for type 2 diabetes, hypertension, colon, prostate, breast cancer, and more chronic deadly diseases. The WHO, the World Health Organization, classified processed meat as group 1A carcinogenic, same group as smoking cigarettes, same group as tobacco, and red meat as group 2A carcinogenic, probably causes cancer. The Canadian and British Diet Association stated that it is healthy and safe to adopt a plant-based diet to all stages of life, including pregnancy and infancy. So basically, our health is off better without meat. So if we don't need meat to thrive and survive, why are we doing it for? What about tradition? Is tradition a justification? As you know, society evolves. So does our way and practices. Many behaviors that were considered barbaric at one time or another, it was acceptable and even encouraged by the society, such as slavery, segregation, no rights for women, and more. However, it all started with few dedicated people rejecting injustice for humanity to take a stand towards these practices. So today, we should enlarge our cycle of compassion to embrace all sentient beings and remember that animals are here with us, not for us. Is culture a justification? In China, it is culturally acceptable to eat dogs. In other countries, it's not. Who's right and who's wrong? People all over the world sign petitions to stop the Yuling Dog Meat Festival. Those same people, they go back home at night and have a piece of cow meat burger for dinner. They are both wrong, since it is not morally justifiable to kill either the dog or the cow. Is suffering of one species more valuable than the other? Can culture justify loving one and killing the other? So if the justification and tradition and culture does not stand, what are we still doing it for? When I knew and realized that my innocent-looking meal was responsible for world hunger, more than 7.6 billion people are living today. More than 1 billion are hungry. Poor countries sell their grain to the meat industry to feed their animals so that we can have a piece of steak. We have enough food to feed 70 billion animals, but not enough to feed 1 billion hungry children. Does it make any sense? This is why meat is a crime towards humanity as much as it is for the animals. Animal agriculture is the major impactor of climate change. More gas emissions than all combined transportations, cars, trains, boats, planes, and more. It is even responsible for rainforest deforestation, ocean dead zones, freshwater depletion, species extinctions, and more. The United Nations stated that to avoid the worst effect of climate change is to adopt a plant-based diet. So many devastating effects on our planet, health, and countless sentient beings. Why are we still consuming meat and dairy? If it's not for survival, if it's not morally justifiable by tradition nor culture, and is responsible for negative impacts on our planet, then again, why are we still doing it? Well, it all comes down to satisfying our taste buds. Question is, are our taste buds more important than life itself? Fortunately today, plant-based alternatives are here and are available for everyone. Same taste, minus the cruelty. Veganism is nothing but choosing peace over violence, choosing respect over oppression, choosing justice over habit, choosing what's right over what's convenient. So why vegan? Because we no longer have one source of information that is controlled by the mainstream media and the meat and dairy industries. Today, the truth and information is out there for everyone to see. We have the moral responsibility to know better and act better. Why vegan? Because having dominion over the weaker is to protect, not to abuse. Why vegan? Because killing an animal for protein and calcium is unnecessary when they are all found in plants. Why vegan? Because if we do not need to kill a sentient being to thrive and survive, then we don't have to. Why vegan? Because we don't need to forcibly impregnate the cow, take her baby away to slaughter for veal and calf skin industry, dry her out, then kill her for cheap meat in order for us to drink her milk. Why vegan? Because choosing what's wrong over what's right can never be right. Why vegan? Because the majority of meat eaters are non-violent people, whereas they contribute to immense suffering in consuming violence unconsciously in minimum of 3 meals per day. Going vegan is aligning our ethics to our actions. Why vegan? That's why. Thank you all for listening.